rain. Rain a little bit. If it doesn't rain hard, Denny will be just fine. It's not that bad, unless it's a really, really hard rain. Then it's hard to drive a motorbike in a hard rain. But luckily, they don't get a lot of storms here, like back in Indiana, where I'm from. We get storms. This is a nice day here. If this was Indiana, this would be a beautiful day. Any day it doesn't storm is a beautiful day in Indiana. You can't compare Indiana to Saigon in too many ways. Unless maybe you're talking about the prices of rent. The prices of rent for an apartment are somewhat similar to Indiana for maybe like a Western style apartment. A little cheaper than in Indiana, but in some places still pretty high. Like I was telling you, in Lexington District 2, I mean, $800 a month. And you know, it's gonna cost you $2,400 to move in or whatever. That's starting out. But they are nice. If you go down to the provinces and stuff, it's gonna be much cheaper. I was renting a house in Metah for $40 a month, and it was a big house too, and pretty comfortable. Had aircon in the bedroom, had hot water. Had to put in a kitchen, but that wasn't expensive. My girlfriend had all that done. And we lived there for several months. And Metah is very nice too. It's a nice little province. It's spread out. So they had me teaching at language centers all over the province. It may be comparable to a county back in my home state. So I had to do a lot of driving. And ultimately, that's why I came back to Saigon, because I got tired of driving down the highway at night. In the rain and the low visibility and stuff, the highway's more dangerous here than this traffic. So that's really why I moved back to Saigon, and I have more opportunities to teach here. I love the little language center that I'm at now. The one I found in District 12 is very, very nice. Yesterday I stopped to have a coffee, and I bumped into the father of one of my students, and he bought me my coffee because I'm a teacher. They're so nice to teachers here. They'll treat you very well. Almost like celebrity status. They just treat you very, very well, and you'll notice it. It's a big contrast from back home where I am nobody. There's some hotels here. I am going to check out these hotels right in here. And I'm going to show them to you. I think I'm going to start making videos about hotels because people are interested in that. I used to go around and look at apartments with my friend Kim. When I first came to Saigon, I got on Tinder and I started meeting girls. And that was like the very first thing I did too. I was in a hostel. And I started meeting girls. And I met this really nice lady, Kim. And we weren't really matched for love, but we became close friends. And she's a good girl. And she was basically, she was doing all kinds of stuff for money, but she employed me, kind of employed me to help her. She was going around looking at apartments and stuff. And basically what she was doing is she was telling them that I wanted to rent there. So they were letting her see the apartments, and then she was advertising it. I don't know how she was making her money, but she was flipping motorbikes too for a while. That's where this motorbike came from. She bought it off of an expat, then sold it to me. And we bought a lot of motorbikes, and she was renting them out, selling them. finally, I had my motorbike accident on this motorbike here. I was going down a road just like this, only I was going pretty fast. And somebody was turning from my right to my left, and they just crossed the road in front of me, and I hit them, and I fell down. I hit the ground, broke my arm, and of course the bike flew apart in a bunch of pieces, but they put it back together. And Kim, she came to the hospital. I didn't have any money on me, and they wanted what did they want? $2 million, not very much, $80 to set my arm, put it in a cast. So she showed up with money. Her and Lan both showed up with a little money, loaned me, which I was very, very grateful for. And so she's been a good friend to me. Right now she's in the USA. She went to the USA and she met another guy, I think Vermont maybe. She's in Vermont. And now she's having a baby. She's having her first baby. I miss hanging out with her though. You're gonna meet a lot of cool people if you come to Saigon. If you come to Vietnam, period, you'll meet a lot of cool people, but especially here in Saigon, you get a chance to meet people from all over the world. And I really enjoy that part of it. That's something I've always enjoyed, is meeting people from around the world. You meet teachers from everywhere. If you go hang out at Bui Vien, you'll meet a lot of vacationers, people in other lines of work. If you go out to Lexington and spend any time out there, you'll meet a lot of expats who are into other lines of work and teaching. Some of them have businesses. The guy I met, he's a public relations consultant. He lives out there. People who own restaurants and stuff in town. I have to correct something I said in one of my videos. As far as buying a house here, you pretty much have to have a, like a Vietnamese partner to own the property. You can't really own property here. At least right now, as far as I know. But, you can marry a Vietnamese girl and you can do what you want. I think that's how that works. I know people that do kind of own things here. I don't know exactly how it's structured, but they seem to think they own it. Probably the wife. The wife owns it really, and they're married. You could definitely find a good wife here. This is definitely a good place to find a wife. I mean, it's way better than the West. I mean, don't even compare it to the West. There's no comparison. This culture is a nice culture, and although it's westernized, it's definitely not Western culture. But the women here are very lovely, very sweet. I fall in love with them pretty easily. Cruise by this place real slow so you can check it out. This is a place I'm always going by. This the chateau. It's the chateau, and looks like they got this bridge going over the road. And they got these nice, lovely naked statues here. Weddings and events. Nice place to take pictures. Bring a lovely girl. This must be a temple of some kind, I don't know. There's a lot of Buddhist temples over here. Of course, it's a Buddhist country. Which are cool to look at. They have interesting architecture. I went to visit a pagoda down in the provinces, and it was pretty neat. It was definitely pretty neat. Pretty peaceful place. They had wind chimes and all kinds of big fancy artwork. was worth seeing. Hot Pot Buffet. That's the place I show you at night often, but a little bit of it in the daytime. I'm probably going too fast now. Maybe you can't even hear me. It's a little windy. I hate that. The wind is ruining about half my videos. I'm ruining the other half of my conversation. Plaza. They have plenty of these big shopping plazas, restaurants, and a lot of good places to eat, shop, places to see movies if you're into that.